the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't stare, just step it up, don't stare. Crack. And if you get in my way, you gonna feel the wrath. Gotta say it to my face while he's looking back. Mirror breaks after math. When I hate, I attack. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't stare, just step it up, don't stare. Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me when I'm falling. Cover up my scars, flip the handlebars. Crashing in my car, wake up in a bar. I'll be a superstar, just on my avatar. This world is so bizarre, empty out the reservoir. Yeah. I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get on safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get on safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? Sometimes you need to let loose, grab juice, get goose, tattoos, taboos, get screwed. Loosen up, buttercup, all those hate comments will never make you feel enough. We're all adequate graduates, heart full of calluses, but we know calculus. Damn, ain't that fabulous? Can't wait to apply all those mathematicus. But we can't get a job that pays us enough. I'm about to pop up. Fuck you, you're lost. We all know that we never really want a boss. So I'ma do what I want to. Something I can't undo. Yeah, I'ma do what I want to. Something I can't undo. I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get on safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side, PCH, country limit. I don't need a guide, follow lights, take me where I wanna visit. Are you alive? Or just breathing? Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side, PCH, country limit. I don't need a guide, follow lights, take me where I wanna visit. Are you alive? Or just breathing? Flashing red lights, driving at night, windowless ride, feeling alive. Nothing in sight, forever in flight. Follow those lines, we'll make it this time. Blurry street lights, work as a guide to memories that we're making tonight. Oh yeah, we'll make it tonight. Yeah. I'll do anything that I feel like I wanna do. I'm living life like I got nothing left to prove. No end in sight, just always staying on the move. I'll go all night if that's just what I gotta do. Life's too short to care about what you can't afford. Memories are in what you explore, so just don't be ignored. Go ask for more, go ask for more. Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side, PCH, country limit. I don't need a guide, follow lights, take me where I wanna visit. Are you alive? Or just breathing? Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side, PCH, country limit. I don't need a guide, follow lights, take me where I wanna visit. Are you alive? Or just breathing? I'm in a race that everybody's chasing fast. They wanna be that someone on the screen at last. They ain't looking inside for their needs in life. They wanna be liked by everybody in sight. But trust me, being free ain't spotlights. No, it's long nights and it's long fights with yourself all the time to get your mind right. But if you put in the work, you can find the light, alright? I'll do anything that I feel like I wanna do. I'm living life like I got nothing left to prove. No end in sight, just always staying on the move. I'll go all night if that's just what I gotta do. Life's too short to care about what you can't afford. Memories are in what you explore, so just don't be ignored. Go ask for more, go ask for more. Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side, PCH, country limit. I don't need a guide, follow lights, take me where I wanna visit. Are you alive? Or just breathing? Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side, PCH, country limit. I don't need a guide, follow lights, take me where I wanna visit. Are you alive? Or just breathing?
I don't really know what comes next. I'm just doing my best, even though I'm so stressed out. Everything just feels like a test that I fail, so depressed when I can't seem to get out.
But something deep inside won't let me quit. I swear that I'm inspired by all this shit. Tell me that I can and I won't. That's what guides me the most. Fuck your lies, I'll do what I want.
What is up, everybody, and welcome back to Tino's Time. And on today's episode, the first of two episodes on Tino's Time, but the first time out of three times that you guys will be seeing your boy Tino live here on the live stream today on YouTube. Today, first, we're starting it off on this episode as I cover Week 11 of the fantasy football season, and then I get you ready to set your lineups for Week 12, and then at 2 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, an hour after we get off here, come and hang out with your boy Tino, SCW Wrestling Steve, NX Steve, we got two Steves, and then Jonesy's Chats Wrestling, as all four of us go over all of the matches that are going to go down on Saturday night at Survivor Series War Games. We're going to answer some questions. We're going to give our predictions. We're going to give some what we think is going to happen. Who's going to be the last member of Team Bianca? We find out on Friday night. So we got a big day here today, guys, on Tino's Time. So let's not waste any more time, and let's get it started with a Week 11 preview. And then let's get ready for Week 12, because everybody, it's Thanksgiving week. So happy Thanksgiving, everybody, because we got, yeah. So let's start it off with a fantasy football recap of Week 11. Did you guys start Josh Palmer? I didn't. Did you guys start Tony Pollard? I didn't. But the guys that I faced did, and I lost because Josh Palmer got a touchdown in the last minute. He got two touchdowns. Tony Pollard decided to be a PPR machine and scored a rushing touchdown, a passing touchdown, a 60-yard touchdown. They both scored 30-plus points, and they did their thing. The Jets offense, guys, had a total of 2 yards in the whole entire second half. What is that? What's going on with the Jets? Are we going to see Joe Flacco on the mound and at the plate, at the helm and in the huddle on Sunday instead of Zach Wilson? Robert, he's got to make a decision. Eagles and Chiefs and Raiders, they walk it off. The Eagles almost lost, but Jalen Hurts led them down the field. I just mentioned Josh Palmer catching that touchdown at the end. That pretty much meant nothing because the Chiefs walked down the field. Travis Kelce caught a game-winning touchdown, and the Chiefs went on to win Sunday Night Football. And Davante Adams. If you guys drafted or you kept Davante Adams, you're feeling real good because that's the only guy that Derek Carr seems to throw to. He don't throw to nobody else but Davante Adams. So those three teams walked it off. And then we had, if you guys go look at Tino's Time shorts, we got Melvin Gordon has been released by the Denver Broncos, which means that Latavius Murray will now be the starting running back for the Denver Broncos. So definitely light him up in your fantasy football lineups, everybody. And that's the news coming out of Sunday. We have a lot more. We'll obviously have injuries and stuff like that. So we're going to get into all that. But before we do that, let's talk about that Monday night game that was last night. Because we had ourselves a very interesting game. It wasn't a very good game, though. The Arizona Cardinals and the 49ers. 49ers demolished the Arizona Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals didn't do very much. Colt McCoy couldn't play very well. Kyler Murray was out. The only two guys that seemed to have an advantage in that game was DeAndre Hopkins and James Conner. DeAndre Hopkins just continues to prove that he's quarterback proof, and it doesn't matter who the quarterback is. He's always going to be there, and he's always going to do his thing. So, DeAndre Hopkins, you just start him no matter what. But that Monday night game, guys, we watched it as we watched Monday Night Raw. And I'm sorry, but that was just not a fun game. So there's not much to really talk about it besides if you're George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, you probably won because George Kittle had 20-something points. Deebo had about 19. DeAndre Hopkins had about 17. If you guys were lucky enough to start Jimmy Garoppolo had 4 touchdowns. I mean, I think it's me because I started Jimmy Garoppolo last week and he sucked. But then this week he does good. I don't know, guys. So that was the Monday Night Football game. But now that we're past Monday Night Football, we have to talk about the injuries that happened on Sunday. and yesterday that were some announced, and some big name players that were announced, and some big name players that will now be out for the season. So everybody, let's get into it. We have Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon left the game with a concussion on Sunday in the game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. It didn't matter because Simon Pirine decided to come out and do his thing. He had 2 touchdowns. I think he actually had 3, to be honest. He had 2 or 3. But he went out, he did his thing, he caught a couple touchdowns. I just forgot if he got one of that rushing. Anybody in the chat, let me know if he did or not. But so Joe Mixon, concussion, and you guys know how they deal with the concussions now, especially after Tua Tagovailoa and everything like that. So just keep an eye out on Joe Mixon. Like I always say, it is only Tuesday, so we'll have to see how it goes. Kyle Pitts, we have a knee injury. He is out for the season, and it's not good. I said it in my short yesterday. Kyle Pitts is out for the season, and the Atlanta Falcons are missing one of their best playmakers. But it really doesn't matter because Arthur Smith didn't use him. And honestly, I feel like this is a good thing because now you guys could put him on IR if it's a keeper league, or you could just drop him. Because if you're not in a keeper league, why are you going to keep him? Honestly, I have that situation where I just put him on my IR spot, but it's not a keeper league. So why am I going to keep Kyle Pitts if he's not going to, So I might drop him. I don't know. Unless that league is a keeper league. I don't know. But Kyle Pitts, guys, is out for the year. Another guy out for the year that has an ACL injury, just like Kyle Pitts, because that knee injury turned into an ACL, MCL, and everything like that. It's like Logan Paul. Wan'Dale Robinson, he's out for the year with an ACL injury. The wide receiver for the Giants was seeming to get a little bit going and seemed to be doing his thing, but now Wan'Dale Robinson is out for the year. Justin Fields has a dislocated shoulder and is expected to be day-to-day, but let's be real. Do we really see this guy playing this week? I just don't know why the Bears can't have good things and why the Bears can't have a healthy quarterback for at least a full season. It's every year the Bears starting a backup quarterback that we don't know who the hell it is. Am I really going to have to watch Trevor Siemian go up against the Jets on Sunday, guys? Because I just might turn off the stream. So, Justin Fields, hopefully he plays, but I very doubt it that he'll play this week. What's up, Eric? How you doing, bro? Thanks for coming and hanging out. I appreciate it. How you doing on this Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday morning? What you guys having for lunch? What are you guys in the stream having for lunch today? But more injury news. Chase Edmonds, he's out with an ankle injury, and now that opens the door up for more of Latavius Murray, obviously with them releasing Melvin Gordon too and everything like that. So light Latavius Murray up in your fantasy lineups, guys. I think he's going to be a great start. Mike Williams. I have a bone to pick with you, Mike Williams, bro. I go into Sunday Night Football up by 34 or 32 points. I'm feeling good. I'm like, hell yeah. Mike Williams, Keenan Allen's coming back. Josh Palmer's not going to be used. Tino's got the W. And just like that, Mike Williams leaves with a back injury. Josh Palmer puts up 34 points, and your boy Tino loses by 2. And that's what we call the fantasy football season. But Mike Williams has a back injury. He's probably going to be out. I don't know. These guys just can't stay healthy on the Chargers. At least Keenan Allen stayed healthy, and he got involved a little bit. So that's good. Hopefully Keenan Allen does. Kadarius Toney for the Chiefs has an injury, and like I said earlier, it's Tuesday, so just keep an eye on the status. But obviously, Patrick Mahomes can just throw it to Travis Kelce because Patrick Mahomes is the absolute GOAT, I guess. So Mike Williams and Kadarius Toney have injuries for wide receivers, and yeah. But I did want to mention this last guy, Jameson Williams. He tore his ACL in the CFL championship game a year ago, and the Detroit Lions still decided to draft him. And now we are here in week 12. He has finally been designated to return from IR and practice with the Lions. And they said he's a possible player that he could play possibly as soon as Thursday on Thanksgiving. So I think it's very good. I think that it's a very good option for a waiver wire pickup, especially. We'll talk a little bit more about him when we get there. I think you guys should go pick him up. Keep him on your team and just see what happens. If you get him and he's a wide receiver too the rest of the season, who knows? He could be that guy that helps you like Amon St. Brown last year. We'll have to see. But Jameson Williams coming back off of the IR after all this time. Welcome to the NFL, my guy. So those are all the injuries that we have. And now that we did the injuries, let's talk about the 3 things that I learned this week coming out of week 11, going into week 12. You guys, honestly, I love coming and hanging out with you guys, but just do the opposite of what I say, because obviously everything that I say is wrong. I tell you to do something, the opposite happens. The things I tell you not to do, they happen. I have no idea anymore, guys. I thought I figured it out. I thought a few weeks ago when I went 3-0, I was like, hell yeah, I figured it out. I'm feeling good. I'm doing my thing. Tino's on top. And no, did not happen. But yeah, so just do the opposite of what I say, because obviously that's the better thing to do. The New York teams are human. New York, as I said in my description, and as I said in the post, if everybody's coming from the post, New York has been exposed. The Giants and the Jets lost this week. They both got demolished. They both got destroyed. The Lions beat the Giants, and the Jets lost by a punt, kickoff return, touchdown by the New England Patriots. I said New England Patriots. New York Patriots. What do you guys think? New York Patriots. How about no? But New York are human. And lastly, the third thing I learned this week, if you have an opportunity next year, if it's the second or third round, and if this man's on the board, you take him, because at this point, he's the man. And he does it all, and he scores fantasy points, and it doesn't matter how. Patrick Mahomes is the absolute. It doesn't matter who the receivers are. It doesn't matter who's on the field. Patrick Mahomes finds ways to score fantasy points, and he's continuing to prove why the quarterback position is so important, because now it's like we obviously have quarterbacks we can trust, but Patrick Mahomes is on a different level. So I just learned that Patrick Mahomes is the GOAT. Now that we talked about the 3 things I learned, let's talk about the guys that were disappointments of the week, and then let's get into the guys that were straight up top performances, and if you started those guys, you were probably feeling real good. But first, like I said, let's talk about the disappointments, and if you had these guys like I did, because I had one of them, and if I would have just got a few more points from him, he would have helped me lead me to a victory. But let's talk about Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley going up and fighting the New England Patriots defense and everything the Lions defense, because the Patriots played the Jets, my bad. The Lions defense, guys, has been really good. So Saquon Barkley was a disappointment, but there's no reason to worry. And we got a question in the chat, so let's answer the question real quick, and then we'll get back to the disappointments. He says, what's up, Chaka? Hopefully I said that right. Chaka, what's up? How you doing? Thanks for coming and hanging out. He asked, quarterback. He's got Fields and Herbert. Running backs, I just said Barkley disappointment, but that's okay. Jacobs has been unbelievable. The people that got Jacobs that were worried about him are just like, yeah. It's crazy how good Jacobs has been. He's got Deontay Foreman, Rashad White, Isaiah Pacheco. Wide receivers, Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper, man, has been the man. Devontae Adams, I'm assuming. Amon St. Brown. Hollywood Brown on IR. Pickens. Watson. And then his tight ends is Andrews. Should I make any moves before the deadline? PPR 3 wide receiver league. Okay, so I would say if you were going to make some moves, if you're going to make any type of moves, I would possibly try to trade like a Foreman or maybe even a Pacheco. Or you could even trade, I mean, you have a lot of really good wide receivers too, where like, are you really going to start Pickens over Adams or Amari Cooper? So maybe because Pickens just had a good week, maybe you could go out and get I feel Andrews is good. I feel like maybe go get a quarterback, maybe, because we don't know how Fields is doing. Yes, Herbert had a really good game last week, but that was his best game of the season. So maybe you could kind of do that. Or if you really wanted to, you could try to move one of your running backs and then try to get a better quarterback like a Jalen Hurts, maybe some guy that has been having an off season or didn't have a good week last season. If you really wanted to, just because we don't know what's going to happen with Fields, and then with Herbert, like I said, he had that really good game last week, and I just don't know if, like I was talking about earlier with the quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes is the one that I just feel like we can continuously trust. But your team's good, so if you don't make any moves, I feel like you're going to be okay. But if you're really trying to make a move, but also the one thing I do want to say, don't just make a move to make a move. Don't trade because I want to trade. It's the deadline. Let's go. If Chaco, what's your record? If you're sitting at like 8-2, I'm gonna guess your team is 7-4. Is my guess. I'm gonna say your team's 7-4. Let me know. But that's what I would do. So let me know, and we'll keep answering the questions. Anybody got any fantasy questions, any questions about war games, let me know. But let's get back to the disappointments. Nick Chubb. I needed 2 more points this week, guys, and Nick Chubb could have been one of them to get them. I don't know what happened. Nick Chubb didn't do very good. 8-3. Chalk is feeling good. 8-3. Hell yeah, man. But yeah, I mean, you're sitting at 8-3. I mean, you probably only need one more win to clinch a playoff berth, I'm assuming. But, I mean, like I said, I wouldn't make a move to make a move. But, I mean, if the quarterback position is the one position on your team, I would want to upgrade just so you have somebody you can trust. Just because, like I said, Fields, we don't know if he's going to play this week. Herbert, best game of his season last week. And, yeah, we just don't know. So, I think that's what you should do. But thank you, Chaka, for coming and hanging out. If any of this information, any of the stuff that I'm saying, guys, helps you, please make sure to subscribe. Join Tino's Nation as we are on the road to 800 now. And if you guys do subscribe, you guys do join the raffle of Tino's Nation as we are doing a 500 subscriber raffle on December 1st. It's a Thursday. So, everybody, make sure you guys subscribe if you are enjoying the content here on Tino's Time. Should I trade Zeke for Amari Cooper or Mike Evans? If you are getting Amari Cooper, I would. Because Amari Cooper has been unbelievable. And Zeke, I would, honestly, guys, I just do not trust Ezekiel Elliott. With the week that Zeke had last week, I would trade his ass I would do it right now. I'd trade him. I'd do it. I'd get rid of him because you don't know what he's going to do. So if you could trade Zeke for Amari, go ahead and do it because I think that Tony Pollard has pretty much become the number one in Dallas. And then we got another question. Should I trade Debo and DPJ, Donovan Peoples-Jones, or Pickens for Jamar Chase? I would try, honestly, I would not trade Debo because Debo is just so good. I would package DPJ and Pickens and then maybe put in Mike Evans for Jamar Chase. Because Jamar Chase is coming back in a few weeks. We know Joe Burrow loves him. And so I think that's a great. I would do Mike Evans, DPJ, and Pickens for Jamar Chase because nobody's going to say no to a 3-1 deal. I mean, they shouldn't. Because Mike Evans is good, DPJ has been good with Jacoby Brissett, and Pickens is the number one in Steeler country, but I just can't trust Kenny Pickens. And I'd rather have Jamar Chase and Amari Cooper going into the playoffs, because those are 2 guys that put up 60 points, and honestly, that's all it takes for you to win. So, yeah. Now, A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown had what did he have? 9 points. A.J. Brown did not do very good. He did not do what we thought he was going to do. And yeah, Deontay Foreman. I just mentioned Deontay Foreman about Chaka. He had a very bad week. He had 2.4 points, and he just did not. I don't know what is with this backfield in Carolina, but they have a good week. They have a bad week. They do this. They do that. Who knows anymore? Damian Pierce of the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans, guys, can't do anything right. They are He had 3.7 points. Texans got beat up. They just can't. I mean, honestly, the only guy that seemed to do anything on Sunday for the Texans was Brandon Cooks. And even that, he didn't have that many points. Miles Sanders, the Eagles squeaked away with a victory on Sunday, but Miles Sanders did not contribute to that at all. Miles Sanders was an absolute, just huge disappointment, and yeah, he was awful. So, yeah. But now, guys, let's get into the guys that if you had them, let's get into the guys that were straight up top performances, and there were straight up guys that were lighting it up and they were doing their thing. If you started them, you probably took home the W and you were one step closer to the fantasy playoffs. So let's get into all of the top performances let's get into the top performances of the guys that went off on Sunday. God, I can't say anything right. So, now let's get into it. We got to get into the top performances. And at number 10, let's talk about T. Higgins. Because with Jamar Chase, T. Higgins has been very good. 23.4 points. T. Higgins did his thing. He put up an absolute banger of a show. And T. Higgins is a GOAT. Derrick Henry, coming out of Thursday night, coming out of the Packers and Titans game, I was up 44-0 on my opponent. And I thought I was going to win. But that didn't happen. But Derrick Henry continues to be one of the best running backs in the game. He threw a touchdown, he ran for a touchdown, and he just continues to be King Henry. He had 27.4 points, and then Derrick Henry just absolutely did it. He's amazing. Travis Kelce, another guy. Travis Kelce is another one, guys. If you somehow can find a way to get Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce on your team at the same time, you're stacked. You're done. That's all you need. Because those two guys are Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp on steroids. That's how I feel, because it's crazy. Travis Kelce put up 35.5 points, and he just went on an absolute show. Amari Cooper also went out and put up 31.3 points. Amari Cooper has continued to be the number one. And like I was telling you, Chaka, and like I was telling you, or like I was saying earlier, I think that having Amari Cooper and then doing that trade would be great, because Amari Cooper has become the number one and he's putting up 15 plus points every single week. Najee Harris is on this list. I didn't think I'd be putting Najee Harris on this list in the beginning of the week, but here we are. 27.6 points. Najee Harris scored a touchdown. He did his thing in the Steelers game. The Steelers looked a lot better on Sunday, but they just couldn't pick up the win. But Najee Harris did absolute awesome things. Tony Pollard, 36.9 points. I mentioned it earlier, like with Ezekiel Elliott. I think that Tony Pollard is the number one in Cowboy country, and I just think that Tony Pollard is the number one running back. You could start him every week. You start him on Thanksgiving. You start him it's awesome. So I think Tony Pollard is great. 30 points. We had another 30 points. Jalen Hurts put up 30 points. Jalen Hurts went up and did an absolute show. He is just unbelievably good. It is ridiculous to watch the Philadelphia Eagles play sometimes. They literally were down and they said, nope, that's not happening. We're coming back. We're winning by one, and we're taking home the dub. And then we have Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow in the other side of the Pittsburgh Steelers game, he put up 4 touchdowns. He put up 300 yards. He put up 40 points fantasy-wise. He did his thing. He doesn't need Jamar Chase, but that just means when Jamar Chase gets back in a few weeks, he's going to be even better. And that's why, like I was saying with you, Bronson, if you trade for Jamar Chase and have Jamar Chase and Amari Cooper, that's awesome. And you're going into the fantasy playoffs, and all you're getting rid of in reality is Mike Evans, Pickens, DPJ, and Zeke. But you're getting 2 number 1 wide receivers. So, I think it's great. Josh Palmer. And these two guys, I wanted to save these two guys for last because Tino needs to get a little venting out because of Josh Palmer and Devontae Adams putting up 66 combined points, 63 combined points. Your boy Tino lost, and Devontae Adams and Josh Palmer were the number 1 and number 2 performances of the week, as they led my opponent to a victory. They led me to a loss, but they put up 60 points. And that's why, like I'm saying, if you have 2 wide receivers that do that, you don't need running backs, because his running backs only had 20 points combined. And that's all it takes. So Josh Palmer and Devontae Adams is really good. And if Mike Williams is out, I mean, that just makes Josh Palmer even better. So that's my vent and that's my rant for the minute. So everybody, now that we covered week 11, let's close the page on it, and let's now look forward to week 12 of the fantasy football season. And now let me get you ready to set your lineups. We got bold predictions, we got games that are fantasy gold, we got starts, we got sits, and we got so much more. But before we do all that, everybody, this week on Thursday, it's Thanksgiving. So, Thanksgiving games, guys, we are back, and Thursday, we started early. 11:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. We won't be live, but the games will be live, so go watch the games. We got to spend time with our family on Thursdays, guys, but we'll be back here on Friday. But the Bills and Lions starting us off here on Thanksgiving morning. I don't know how this is going to go, but I feel like the Bills are either going to destroy the Lions or the Lions are going to come out and beat the Bills. And then 3 o'clock, 30 Central Standard Time. It's a matchup that nobody wants to see on Thanksgiving, but we'll all watch it because it's a football game. It's the Giants. It's them boys. Can them boys and the Giants, can they do their thing, and can they fight as they continue to try to make a playoff push? And then on Thursday night, not Sunday night, that is, guys, we have the New England Patriots going up against Kirk Cousins. He's not wearing chains this week after he got his ass kicked on Sunday. The Vikings, they're trying to make a comeback. They're trying to do their thing, and they want to try to get back in winning ways. So those are the games that we have on Thursday. And we have no buys. No teams are on a bye. So light up all your players, light up all your stars, and we got it going. So now that we covered the games that are going down on Thanksgiving, and we told you about no bye weeks, let me get into my bold predictions. That's how we always start the previews here on Tino's Time. And my first bold prediction is, I just said that the Cowboys and Giants game is a game that nobody wants to watch, but I feel like we're all going to watch it, of course, and I think the Giants could beat them boys. You know, the Cowboys, them boys, they go into the Super Bowl, we winning it all, Jerry's World, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. And I just think the Giants going to come out, show out, and the Giants are going to win on Thursday, on Thanksgiving, and we're starting it off with bold predictions. Devontae Adams last week scored 33 points and costed me a victory, and this week I think he's going to put up 50 points, and he's just going to continue to be the wide receiver that he is, because Derek Carr doesn't throw it to anybody else besides Devontae Adams, and Devontae Adams will score 50 points this week. My last bold prediction, and this one might be a very bold one, but the Packers are going to stop Jalen Hurts. I don't know if it's going to happen, but the Packers may stop Jalen Hurts. I'm not saying Jalen Hurts isn't going to have a good game. I'm just saying he's not going to throw like 7 touchdowns, 5 touchdowns. I think he'll probably throw like 2 touchdowns of like 60 rushing yards, maybe a rushing touchdown. And if that's the case, but I just think the Packers are going to slow Jalen Hurts down a little bit. It just seems like the Eagles, ever since they lost the record and they lost the undefeated streak against the Commanders on Monday night, the last few games, they just seem a little slow. They seem like they can't get going. They seem like, and that kind of messes with people's heads. We saw what happened with the Steelers last season. We've seen what happened with teams in the past. I remember when the Bears were like 7-1. Jay Cutler, he broke his thumb, and the Bears went 8-8 and did not make the playoffs. So I just think, I think it's just not going to be that great of a game for Jalen Hurts. But you no way in hell sit Jalen Hurts. You still start Jalen Hurts, guys. So now that I gave you my bold predictions for the week, let me get into, and let me tell you, and let's get into all the players that you need to pick up, you need to start, you need to sit, and you need to string. And this is where we get into all the good stuff. Because we mentioned all the injuries, the disappointments, everybody's freaking out, and so, yeah. What's up, Caden? How you doing, bro? Thanks for coming and hanging out. Caden says he's ready for war games. Yes, sir, Caden. War games, man. We're going to war, everybody. So, let's get into the starts, the sits, and the streams, and also the waiver wire. So, let's start with the waiver wire. And my number 5 waiver wire pickup is, with Wan'Dale Robinson out, go pick up Darius Slayton. We know we don't really like Darius Slayton too much, but Darius Slayton doing his thing for the Giants. He's the number 1. Daniel Jones looks his way. And if, especially when you're in PPR leagues, I don't know many people that don't play PPR point leagues anymore. So, Darius Slayton is a really good one. Demarcus Robinson. Didn't think I'd be saying this guy this year, but here we are. He had a good game on the Ravens, and yes, I know it's not like maybe we're chasing the points, but I'm not telling you to start this guy. I'm just telling you to pick him up because you never know. And I think that Demarcus Robinson could be a very good option with especially Rashad Bateman out. Kenyon Drake doesn't know what he does. He just has a good game, a bad game, a good game, a bad game. Gus Edwards can't stay healthy. And the only other person he really has to throw it to is Mark Andrews and Devin Duvernay. So go pick up Demarcus Robinson. Now, a guy you need to pick up, and maybe you have him already, or somebody does have him, but if he's still out there, go pick him up and start him this week. Latavius Murray. Latavius Murray has obviously become the number 1 in the Denver Broncos backfield, and I don't like starting Denver Broncos, but here we are, Thanksgiving week, and we're still talking about Latavius Murray. And I think Latavius Murray, guys, would be a very good option to start this week, going up against the Panthers, and that Panthers defense is just not very good. Deshaun Watson. This is the 3rd straight week in a row I've told you guys to pick him up, and I'm going to tell you to pick him up next week because he is still suspended. He and the Browns face the Bucs this week, but he will not be playing. He returns next week to face his former team, the Houston Texans, in a juicy matchup, as the Houston Texans have not been very good, and the Houston Texans they're a disaster. They got the number 1 pick and everything. So pick up Deshaun Watson, get ahead of your opponents, and have him. So then when he goes off against the Texans, you're not rushing and spending all your fab money because this guy got him. And yeah, the number 1 waiver wire pickup of the week. And this has a lot to do with injury. If Joe Mixon misses any period of time, Samaje Perine is my number 1 running back. They're going up against the Titans this week. We saw Aaron Jones have a decent game last week. And if Joe Mixon is out, he obviously is a PPR machine. He caught 2 passes for touchdowns. And Perine would become a number 1 running back in the Cincinnati backfield. So go pick him up if you have an opportunity, and you do have a chance. So those are my top 5 waiver wire pickups of the week. But one last pickup I think you guys should go pick up, and it's a tight end, because we always need tight ends, and I've been mentioning this guy for a little bit. So make sure you go pick him up and start him this week. It is Jawu Johnson of the New Orleans Saints, the tight end. He had himself a game, he caught a touchdown, and we always need tight ends. So go pick him up and start him this week. And speaking of starts, let's get into those starts, those sits, and those streams here for week 12. Of fantasy football, Thanksgiving week edition, fantasy football, Tino's Time edition, and everything else, everybody. But before we do get into the waiver wire start, sits, and streams, Tino needs a sip of water. Gotta hydrate, you know. You're talking for a while. So now let's get into those starts and those sits and those streams, everybody. So let's do it. And the starts are Tua Tagovailoa going up against the Texans. Tua Tagovailoa doing his thing. And I think he's going to destroy the Houston Texans. The Dolphins are coming off of a bye. Texans are going to be still tired from whatever, and they can't win a ball game. So maybe this is a trap game, but I think that Tua would be a great start. Texans, start him. Tom Brady. The GOAT is back in the starting lineup for Tino in fantasy football. He's going up against the Browns. Obviously, since he signed those divorce papers, he's been feeling good. So, light up Tom Brady in your lineup this week, guys. I know no teams are on a bye, but we're having struggles at quarterbacks with some guys. Justin Fields is hurt. We don't know what's going to happen with him. We have guys that are playing and don't have good matchups and stuff. So light up Tom Brady. He's the GOAT. Eric says, I'm not even a fantasy guy, but while I was working out, I had you on, my friend. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate it, bro. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Go tell all your friends, Eric. Go tell all your friends about your boy Tino. And speaking of the Buccaneers, last week and the last few weeks, we've heard the Buccaneers beat reporters say that Rachaad White is going to become the number one running back, and he will be used a lot more. And obviously, people can say that, but the last 2 games, he's been used a lot more. So, light him up against the Browns. Tom Brady loves to dump the ball off, and if you're in a super flex league, start him, and I think going up against the Browns is going to be a very good one. I just mentioned the Texans going up against the Dolphins. Remember Jeff Wilson? Yeah, that guy. The guy that had 2 touchdowns in his first 2 games, and he left the 49ers, and we all freaked out. But here we are, week 12, still starting this guy, going up against the Texans, their awful run defense. And yes, they did good versus Brian Robinson and Antonio Gibson, but the Commanders' run defense and the running offense is just not very good. So I think that you light up Jeff Wilson and you put him in your lineup. Garrett Wilson against the Bears. I love my Bears, guys, but I just cannot trust the Bears defense. The Bears defense has been awful. They've been giving up 35 points a game. We don't know if Zach Wilson is going to play. I feel like if Joe Flacco is going to play, I feel like Joe Flacco is just going to come out, ball out, and show out. And I just think that, yeah. So, everybody, I think that you need to make sure that you start and you get Garrett Wilson in your lineup. I keep getting random phone calls. People, stop calling me. Tino's talking fantasy football. And Josh Palmer, as much as I hate that this man beat me this week, I just think that obviously with Mike Williams being out, Keenan Allen still trying to be limited and being on a snap count and everything. And obviously you can start Keenan Allen because when he's on the field, he's catching the ball. But Josh Palmer has become the number one. He's fully healthy and he just does his thing. So start Josh Palmer against the Cardinals, Justin Herbert. I think Justin Herbert would be a good option. But like I said earlier, if you could trade Justin Herbert or you could trade Fields or you could trade whoever to get a better one like a Mahomes or, something like that, if you have to package them, I think at least you got to try it. I mean, the worst thing they could say is no, right? So, Josh Palmer, line him up in your lineup. Jawu Johnson, I just mentioned him about picking him up. Put him in your lineup. Start him against the 49ers this week. Andy Dalton loves him. We need tight ends, and we always need tight ends. So just start him this week against the 49ers. Pat Freiermuth. Kenny Pickett loves himself some Pat Freiermuth. Pat Freiermuth had himself a game. He had a really good day, and I think he's going to have a better day against the Colts defense. So start Pat Freiermuth on, I think they play on Sunday night or Monday night. I think it's Monday night next week, actually. But they play on one of those days, guys. But start Pat Freiermuth and put him in your lineup. The Dolphins defense going up against the Texans. The Dolphins defense is just not very good. The Texans offense is not good. The Texans can't do anything right, guys. So light up the Dolphins. The Dolphins defense is going to destroy the Texans. And at least that's what I hope that happens. So now that I gave you the guys to start this week, and now I told you the guys that I trust this week, let's talk about the guys that I just don't trust this week. Andy Dalton going up against the 49ers. Just because I trust John Woo Johnson doesn't mean that I want to trust Andy Dalton in my fantasy lineup and hoping that he has himself a good game versus the 49ers. I'm just saying, we're limited at tight end. Quarterback, we have better options. So sit Andy Dalton. Matt Ryan. We all felt good about Matt Ryan. We all thought Matt Ryan was going to do his thing. We all thought Matt Ryan was blah, blah, blah. He was the greatest of all greats. But Matt Ryan did not, and going up against the Steelers, I don't know how Matt Ryan's going to do, and we saw the Steelers defense get to Joe Burrow, and Matt Ryan isn't that good, so I think this is a game the Steelers could win. Brian Robinson, if you can't do it versus the Texans, you can't do it against the Falcons. We saw David Montgomery have a decent game, but he didn't have like an explosion. I think he had 21 points. But I just don't know if I can trust Brian Robinson going up against the Falcons. Deontay Foreman, guys, I cannot trust Deontay Foreman right now. I just don't know if I can put him in my lineup against the Broncos. Everybody's out. Everybody's in. There's no bye weeks. So if you have a better option, I definitely sit Deontay Foreman this week. The Rams wide receivers. I cannot trust the Rams wide receivers at all. Going up against the Chiefs, Matthew Stafford is out again. John Walfold was hurt. It was just crazy. So I would not start the Rams wide receivers. The Raiders wide receivers, I wouldn't start any of the wide receivers for the Raiders besides Davante Adams. The only guy that he looks to, Derek Carr, is Davante Adams. He says, I'm just going to chuck it. Davante Adams down there somewhere. I don't know where the hell he's at, but he'll catch it. So don't start Davante, or don't start any wide receiver for the Raiders besides Davante Adams. And we got another question. What's up, Kevin? How you doing, Kevin? How you doing? Kevin Valentine, how you doing? What it do, baby? What's up? How you doing? He's 7-4, 4-game winning streak. Team is finding form. Need a 2 for flex spots. Brandon Cooks, Rashad White, JWJ, Pickens, and Pacheco. So you need 2. So I would go Rashad White because I think Rashad White is good. And because, like I said earlier, as I mentioned, I think that going up against the Browns, Brady loves to check it down. Brady loves to do this and that. So I think I think Rashad White. And who is JWJ? Is that Jeff Wilson Jr.? Is that who that is? I think that's who it is. So if it's Jeff Wilson Jr. and Pickens, I would go with those two. I like Brandon Cooks, but the problem with Brandon Cooks is I don't trust Davis Mills. And every time I just feel like I'm sitting there having an anxiety attack. Like, why isn't Davis Mills throwing it? Why is he throwing it to no-name guys? Who the hell is this guy? Who is this not? Like, he wasn't even throwing it to Nico Collins last week. Nico Collins had like 9 points, but I don't know. So I would go with Rashad White and Jeff Wilson Jr., or I would go with Jeff Wilson Jr. and Pickens, because obviously Pickens is the number 1 in Steeler land now. Deontay Johnson's nowhere to be found. Pat Freiermuth is there, but So I would do that. And the one, like I said, those would be the 3 that I would limit it down to. I wouldn't start Pacheco. I know he had 100 yards, but it's one of those things, you have better options than, like if you had, say if it was like Pacheco and that guy from the Rams, of course you start Pacheco. But you have better options in Rashad White, Jeff Wilson Jr., and Pickens. So I would go with, I know you need 2, but I would out of those 3, like that's who I would like, So if you want me to make a full decision, you want me to tell you 2, if I had this decision, I would go with Rashad White and Jeff Wilson Jr. just because I trust Tua more than I trust Kenny Pickett. That's the only thing. So I would pick Jeff Wilson Jr. and Rashad White. And sorry guys, my animals are going crazy. So everybody, what's up, man? What's up, Big Trev? No, you get nothing. Big Trev? No, I'm just kidding. No. What's up, Big Trev? How you doing? What's up, man? Should I play Vanilla Vic or Derek Carr? Vanilla Vic? He said Vanilla Vic. Hoping Lenny is out. Well, and that's the thing, Kenny. So, Big Trev, I would play... Who is Vanilla? Are you talking about Daniel Jones? Are you talking about Daniel Jones? Funny as hell. I would go Daniel Jones, if that's who it is. Big Trev, thank you, bro, for coming and hanging out. Kevin says, that's the other thing. Leonard Fournette was hurt also. I didn't mention Leonard Fournette in the injury part. He might be out this week, so that's another thing. Why you would start... That's why I would start Rashad White, too, because if Lenny is out, Brady's going to throw it, too, and dump it down to Rashad White. Danny Dimes. Yes, it's Danny Dimes. Yeah, I would go Danny Dimes over Derek Carr. Because Derek Carr, if Davante Adams doesn't have a good game, Derek Carr doesn't have a good game. And that's my problem with that. So, everybody, let's get back to the sits and the streams. Keep dropping your questions. And everybody will, no, my dogs are fine. My dogs are fine. They just, somebody was coming home and somebody opened the garage or whatever, and so dogs are fine. But everybody, let's get back into the sits, the streams. Keep dropping your questions, and we'll answer them, as many as I can, until 1:30. As I said earlier, guys, we'll be live on the SCW channel at 2 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. So we got to get ready for that. But you guys have me until about like 1:20, 1:30. Also, who you like more this week? Thielen, DPJ, or Rondell? I would go out of those three, I would go DPJ. Because obviously Donovan Peoples-Jones and Jacoby Brissett have a chemistry that we really didn't think of. So I can't believe I'm saying it, but I'd light up both Browns wide receivers. I mean, I'm thinking about doing it. I just don't know. I keep going back and forth, and then I always make the wrong decision. So, yeah, I would do DPJ, though, guys. So let's get into the sits. The rest of the sits, that is. The sitting defense this week is the Washington Commanders. The Washington Commanders had 23 fantasy points last week. Don't get too excited. It was versus the Texans. It was not, and the Falcons obviously can score points. So don't put the Commanders in your lineup. They had a good week, but don't be crazy. And now we got another question. What's up, Trev? Trev got another one. He needs 3 out of the guys. C-Mac, Alvin Kamara, Rondell Moore, Rachaad White, full PPR. I would go out. So you need 3. Obviously, you're starting C-Mac. Obviously, like I said, Trevor, earlier, if Leonard Fournette, like I said to Kevin, if Leonard Fournette is out, I would start Rachaad White. I would still start Rachaad White. And then Alvin Kamara and Rondell Moore. Honestly, I feel like I would rather have Alvin Kamara. Because Andy Dalton still checks it down. He doesn't as much as, Jameis Winston does and everything. But I think that Alvin Kamara over Rondell Moore, I'd rather have Alvin Kamara. If you got Ramondre Stevenson, I would do. Okay, so that makes it different. I would do that then. I would do Ramondre Stevenson over Alvin Kamara. So I would do Rachaad White, Alvin Kamara, or Rachaad White, Ramondre Stevenson, and Christian McCaffrey is what I would do. Bills defense at Detroit. Bills defense. Their schedule. Minnesota. I'm starting the Patriots this week because I kind of have to. I don't have any other options. But Minnesota is one of those teams, they can either go out and have a great game, or they can go out and have an awful game. So I will go with the Bills defense on that. So everybody, like I said, keep dropping your questions, and let's get into the streams this week. And then, like I said, let's get through all the information so that I can stay here and answer all you guys' questions. And my streams for the week is, let me see, did I do that right? Yes, I did. Okay, my streams for the week is Taylor Heinicke against the Falcons. I can't believe I'm saying it again, but you light up Taylor Heinicke. You put him in your lineup. If you have a quarterback that's struggling, that's doing their thing, that's not having a good week, that doesn't have a good matchup, I'd start Taylor Heinicke this week over a bunch of other guys. And I don't know why when I wrote this down, but I said you should stream Matt Ryan, but I just told you to sit Matt Ryan. So we're not going to sit. We're going to sit Matt Ryan. And my other streaming quarterback of the week will be, let me get to the NFL games for the week, because I don't know why I put Matt Ryan on both. I didn't realize I did that. And honestly, guys, if I am going to be streaming a quarterback, I know it may be risky. It very well may be risky, but I may stream Jacoby Brissett against the Buccaneers. I know the Buccaneers are a good defense, but the Buccaneers probably going to score points. The Browns going to have to go and score points. Amari Cooper, Donovan Peoples-Jones. Hopefully Nick Chubb has a better week. And I just think that, hopefully. But I would stream Jacoby Brissett if you need a quarterback in more of a deeper league options. Obviously, you're not starting them over guys like that. So Latavius Murray also stream. I said and I told you guys to get Latavius Murray. Make sure you light him in your lineup and you start him this week and you stream him this week. Samaje Perine, I think that's how you say. I hope I'm saying his name right. Going up against the Texans, I said to pick him up also and make sure to start him and stream him this week going up against the Titans. Treylon Burks. I can't believe I'm telling you to stream a Titans wide receiver, but here we are. Treylon Burks, wide receiver of the Titans. If you need a wide receiver, if he's out there, go and stream him this week because he does have a good matchup against the Bengals. We saw what Pickens did. We saw what the Steelers did. So even if the Bengals do end up winning the game, doesn't mean that he can't. Another wide receiver I'm going to stream this week, if this is again more of a deeper league, Kendall Hilden. Is it Hinden? It's Hinton. Kendall Hinton going up against the Panthers. Russell seems to like him, and Russell needs someone to throw to. So again, deeper leagues, Kendall Hinton is a really good option. Tight ends. We always need tight ends. I didn't tell you to sit any tight ends because I feel like we can't sit tight ends. The only thing that honestly, it might be an awful thing, but Kyle Pitts getting hurt, that makes it a little easier because now you don't have to worry about him being there and having a player and having somebody be hurt and not be on the field. It was a disaster this year. So I hope Kyle Pitts gets better, but I'm happy we kind of don't have to deal with the Arthur Smith situation anymore. So Tyler Conklin going up against the Bears. As I mentioned Garrett Wilson earlier, Garrett Wilson is going up against the Bears too with the Jets, and especially if Joe Flacco does start, because we still don't know who the starting quarterback is going to be. I think that Tyler Conklin is a very good play this week. Trey McBride going up against the Chargers. Trey McBride and, with Colt McCoy, with Kyle Murray, whoever the quarterback is, it obviously isn't going to matter because Zach Ertz is out for the year. And I think that Trey McBride, like I said, we always need tight ends. And he didn't have a bad game last week. The Chiefs defense. I just mentioned the Chiefs, and we talked a little bit about the Chiefs earlier. I think the Chiefs going up against the Rams. The Rams are not a very good team this year. Obviously, they're having a Super Bowl hangover. They can't do anything right. Cooper Kupp's out for at least 3 more games. Matthew Stafford can't stay healthy anymore. And I think the Chiefs will just demolish the Rams in their game on Sunday. So those are all the streams and the starts and the sits here for Week 12, everybody. And I'm sorry, guys, while I was saying all that. Sorry about my stupid dogs. I don't know why they keep barking. They just don't listen. So hopefully you guys all can still hear me and listen, and you guys didn't leave because of my dogs. So, thank you guys all for sticking around, staying here with your boy Tino. And now that we did all the start, sits, and streams, let's get into the games that I think that are going to be fantasy gold. And then last but not least, my 3 guarantees of Week 12. And then, guys, keep leaving your questions, keep dropping them. Hopefully the dogs will be quiet now and you guys can hear me better. And, yeah. So let's get into the fantasy gold games, and then we'll answer more questions. What's up, King Frosty? How you doing, bro? Thanks for coming and hanging out. I appreciate it. Fantasy gold games, guys. The Falcons and the Commanders. I think this game is going to be a very high-scoring, very underrated game because both defenses are not very good. Yes, the Commanders are good. They're getting Chase Young back soon. But I think that this is a game the Falcons will have to score, Commanders will have to score, and I just think that everybody will get some points. So start Cordell Patterson, start Taylor Heineke, start Scary Terry McLaurin. Running backs is honestly the only thing I wouldn't start in the game with the Commanders because I just can't trust them. So I'd still start a bunch of guys in that game. Another game, I just mentioned it, the Rams and Chiefs. The Chiefs are going to light it up. The Chiefs are going to be there. Chiefs are going to do their thing. And the Chiefs are just going to kill the Rams. I don't know how well it's going to be for the Rams, but I think the Chiefs are going to have a fantasy gold type of week this week. Lastly, and I think this will be one for both teams that have a good week, specifically DeAndre Hopkins, specifically James Conner, and all of the Chargers. Justin Herbert, Josh Palmer, Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler, etc., etc. Cardinals and Chiefs. 3 o'clock. I think it's going to be a really good game, a high-scoring game, and I think that you guys could start everybody in those games. So, those are my 3 games that I have for Fantasy Gold this week in Week 12. And lastly, guys, what are my 3 guarantees this week? My first guarantee is the Ravens. They're going to be out. They're going to be wanting out for blood. They're going to show out. And the Ravens are going to beat the snot out of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence going to throw some interceptions. Oh my God, I can't. Travis Etienne's not going to have a great game. I just think the Ravens are going to go out and they're going to demolish and beat the snot out of the Jags. The Bills stomp the Lions on Turkey Day. Guarantees this week are just a bunch of teams stomping people. I think the Bills are going to stomp the Lions. So as Kevin asked me, that's why I would start the Bills defense, because I think Jared Goff isn't going to have a good game. I think Amon St. Brown might not have a good game. I think, I just don't know how it's going to go. And for some reason, man, the Lions just do not play good on Thanksgiving. I don't know what it is. I don't know why, but they just are not very good. So that's my last, we got one more. My last guarantee, we've said it. I said it in the description. I said it in the headlines. I said it in everything. Something crazy is going to happen. If it's an upset, if it's a guy going off, if it's a team winning that nobody expects, if it's a guy coming in the game, if it's a team like just having a bad day, if something's crazy is going to happen. Somebody's going to break a record. And next week when we do this show on Tuesday, back at our regular scheduled time at 2 p.m., something crazy is going to happen in Week 12 of the fantasy football season. And those are my 3 guarantees of Week 12. And everybody, that is all that I have here for you for a Week 11 recap and a Week 12 preview. So everybody, keep dropping your questions. Let me know what you guys got. How are you guys all doing? I appreciate everybody dropping your questions, asking your boy Tino. I know we're live here a little bit earlier today, but as I mentioned and as you guys see in the pinned post, we will be live on the SCW channel, live at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time in just 1 short hour here in my time. So 1 hour, everybody, until we are live on the SCW channel as we go over and we talk about war games, everybody. So thank you guys all for coming and hanging out. I appreciate it. It looks like we have no more questions. King Frosty says he's ready for war. Who's ready for war? I'm ready for war, everybody. I can't wait. I want to find out who the last member of Team Bianca is. Are we going to see LA Knight versus Bray Wyatt? Are we going to see Uncle Howdy? What are we going to see go down on Saturday night at War Games? And King Frosty, yes, it is a podcast. The link is in the description, or I'm sorry, not the description, in the chat on the pinned post. If you go in the chat, it will be there, and you could just click on it. You could go subscribe. You go turn on the notification button, and then you could come and hang out in just 1 short hour as me, Steve, the NX Steve. We got 2 Steves, and then Jonesy's Chats Wrestling are going to go over everything that is going to go down at Survivor Series on Saturday night. King Frosty just subscribed, so thank you so much. I appreciate it, man. Thank you guys all for subscribing. I appreciate it. Help my man Steve. Make sure to come and hang out too. Ask some questions. Give your boy Tino a shout out. Say what's up. Join NX Steve. Join Jonesy's Chats Wrestling. Join everybody. So guys, that's what's coming up here in just a short hour on Tino's time. So I want to say thank you guys for all of you guys coming and hanging out here on the Fantasy Football Preview Show for Week 11 and Week 12. I hope all my questions helped. I hope all of my information helped. I hope that you guys subscribed. I hope you guys liked it. We hit almost 100 likes last night. So if you guys haven't yet, help Tino get to his first ever episode of 100 likes. So go like last night's episode of Monday Night Raw. Watch along as we watch Monday Night Raw and the Cardinals and the 49ers football game, guys. And like I said, we'll be live on the SCW channel in an hour. But as King Frosty just said, we're not done yet, guys. So coming up on Tino's time tonight, we have NXT watch along. As we go live at 7 p.m., we're going to see Carmelo Hayes and Wesley in a North American Championship match. Toxic Attraction is starting us off. We're going to see Wendy Chu go up against Cora Jade. What does the new member of NXT have to say after she helped Mandy Rose defeat Alba Fire in a last woman standing match? Odyssey Jones, Quincy Wilson, or Quincy, I should say, not Quincy. Quincy, everybody. Quincy will be there, and all the NXT superstars. So we'll be live for NXT tonight. Remember, guys, also, we will be doing the 500 subscriber raffle on December 1st. So if you guys have not, make sure to join Tino's Nation as we are on the road to 800. You could still join. You could still join the raffle. It's okay if we are over 500. That's a good thing. So make sure you guys join the 500 subscriber raffle as we will be going live on December 1st. And one lucky subscriber will win a collectible item. And they will also win a t-shirt. You will win an limited edition two ever made t-shirt. That is Tino's Time 500 subscriber edition, established in 2022. And then the back of the t-shirt will have my logo, all of the social media platforms, and where you can find your boy Tino to come and hang out and join the nation. That is Tino's Nation. So you're going to win a t-shirt, you're going to win a collectible item, and you're going to have a good time. Hashtag Tino Time 500. Let's get it. Let's get it trending, everybody. Hashtag Tino's Time 500. And King Frosty, all you got to do is come in the chat. So you came in the chat, and then I'm going to write it down because I tried to find a way to write it down, and it didn't work. So now what I'm going to do is just, if you come in the chat and you do subscribe, let me know, and then I can write your name down, and then oh shit, oopsie, just dropped my phone, oops, just dropped the phone on the keyboard, sorry guys. But what I'm going to do, King Frosty, is I'm going to put everybody's name down, and then I'm going to find a way to do it where it happens to the point where I can just do like a little like thing, and I can show you guys my screen and everything like that. So King Frosty, I just wrote your name down because you guys are in there. Eric, I got you down. Kevin, are you subscribed, bro? Kevin, did you subscribe so I could put your name down? Trevor, Caden, I know you're subscribed, bro. I got to put Caden down. We didn't put Caden down yesterday. We have 12 spots full so far, everybody. So let me know. Make sure you guys just let me know that you're subscribed, and then we will write your name down, and then you guys will join the raffle. So everybody, like I said, just make sure you guys let me know. If you don't want to be a part of it, that's okay too. I understand. But it's a free raffle. You win something. Why not try it? It's free. It's free. It's free 99, everybody. So tomorrow, guys, we are also having ourselves a triple header as we will be live at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Actually, I think it's 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. I lied. Or no, it's 2. Let me make sure. Let me make sure because I want to make sure because he told me. But we will be live it will be 2 p.m. my time, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time tomorrow, as we will be on the Sports Capital podcast. As soon as he sends me the link today, I will put the link up for NXT tonight so you guys can go and join his channel as he is on the road to 500. So let's help him get to 500 as Tino just got to 500. So we're going to do that tomorrow. And then tomorrow afternoon at 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, that is the wrong thumbnail, at 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, we will be going live here on YouTube, and we will be talking about War Games ourselves, and Tino will be giving you more of his predictions of everything that is going to go down on Saturday night at War Games on Peacock and the WWE Network. We got 5 matches, right? We got 4 or 5 matches. We got 2 War Games. We got 2 title matches. We got AJ and Finn. It's going to be a good one. So Wednesday, before AEW Dynamite, come and hang out with your boy Tino as we cover everything going to go down at War Games. And then Wednesday night, we'll be live here for AEW Dynamite as we watch the fallout of the go-home show, the fallout of Full Gear, as we will be going and seeing what happens. We got a new champion, MJF, the devil himself. Jamie Hayter's the leader of the women's division. And we're going to have to see who wins and who wins the Eliminator tournament. Is it going to be Ethan Page or is it going to be Ricky Starks? We have so much to go down on Dynamite, everybody. And what is his channel? I will let you know when I get his link. I don't have the link yet, so I'll let you know, Caden, tonight for NXT. And Chris says that Sean Ross is saying that Becky Lynch is the 5th member of Team Bianca. I've heard that rumor too, which would not surprise me. So we'll have to find out what happened, and we'll have to see what will be going down with that. But that's Friday. And speaking of Friday, we're not going to be live on Thanksgiving, everybody. I was going to do my preview show on Thanksgiving, but then, we can't because got to spend time with the family, food, and football. We got to do it. You got to be thankful for everything that we got. So we're going to take Thursday off so we could get some rest and we could get ready for Survivor Series War Games week, everybody. And it all starts with the episode that I know you guys have all been looking for, because I cannot wait to show you guys all of the cool and amazing items that Tino has in his collection, everybody. Tino's collection room tour, as we go through the whole collection and we talk about everything that I have in the collection, the stuff I showed you in the collection episodes, the stuff I've added throughout the months, how I have everything displayed. I've been working really hard on it, so I hope you guys will join me on Friday before SmackDown on Black Friday. So after you're done shopping, come and see what Tino has in his collection as we go live about 2:30, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then Friday night, it's the last show before Survivor Series War Games, everybody. So make sure that you guys come and hang out with your boy Tino as we go live on Friday night to watch the go-home show of Survivor Series War Games. And then lastly, as we end the week here, we'll be live, obviously, Saturday for War Games, live reaction show. I can't make the thumbnail because we don't know who the 5th member is. We don't know who this is going to be and everything like that. So I made the thumbnail for the preview. I did what I could, but they always add stuff, so we got to wait. So we'll be live on Saturday, of course, for War Games at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Keep an eye out for the link and keep an eye out for the thumbnail, as I will make it Friday night after SmackDown. But Sunday, we'll be back here Sunday, guys, for another week of action in the NFL football season as we watch Week 12 that I just gave you a full, deep preview in of everything that is going to be going down on Sunday, and we watch all the games. Can King Henry keep it up? Can the Bills keep it up? Can Patrick Mahomes? Who's going to be in the lead at the end of the week? Who's going to make a push to the playoffs, everybody? So make sure you guys come and join me on Sunday as we watch another week of NFL action. And he says, I'm celebrating Thanksgiving on Saturday, Chris says. Hey, that works. So everybody, we had another question. Hold on, we had another one. I just saw it. Eric says, Survivor Series is on Saturday. Chris, yeah, you said it was, but we don't know if that's who it is yet. We got to find out who. We got to wait and find out. So everybody, he said, I told you it's Becky. So Eric you got mad, bro. Eric, you got mad. So everybody, I want to say thank you guys again for coming and hanging out here on this Tuesday special start time of Tino's Fantasy Football Show, as we usually go live at 2 o'clock, but instead we went live at noon. So guys, like I said, we'll be live in the SCW channel in less than an hour now, in 50 short minutes. So make sure you guys go subscribe to his channel and you join Tino in an hour. And if you guys want to know where to find me, and before we go, so guys, you know, go follow all the social medias. Go follow us on SoundCloud and Spotify at Tino's Time. Also, Tino's Time Wrestling on Instagram and Facebook. We fixed the Facebook account. Tino's Time 1996 on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram, guys. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to put your name down in the comment to join the raffle, to join Tino's Nation. And you guys, like I said, you're going to win a lucky prize. And lastly, remember to turn that notification button on so you know when we go live tonight for NXT at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Like I said, one more time, we'll be live on the SCW channel in an hour, guys. So make sure you guys go subscribe to there. And until then, and until I see all of you guys in an hour on SCW Wrestling, this is your boy Tino signing out. Okay. Caden says I'm gonna have a food fight with my family. Caden, you're funny, bro. Caden, everybody, have a good day, have a good afternoon, and I'll see y'all in an hour. And if not, I'll see you at 7.